Beginning.
How's that awkward silence making you feel?
Pretty bad.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You deserve it. You and the viewers.
Why? Because you're too good for us?
Exactly. Wasting my time on you peasants. Can't believe it. The only person that's ever been good to me was Bumbo over here.
Who the hell's Bumbo?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Is that what you call your imaginary friends?
No, Bumbo.
Mm.
Bumbo's a special boy.
I hate it.
Bumbo's my secret boy. Oh, there we go, Bumbo. Bumbo's big.
Oh, was Bumble a, power-up in your shitty video game?
It's not a shitty video game, okay? He's a familiar.
I can guarantee you that is a shitty video game.
Are you talking about the amount of fecal matter in the game? Because in that case, yes, I suppose it's a shitty video game.
Yes. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm gonna go get my tablet. BRB, children.
Don't come back.
I'm trusting you to make this a good podcast.
Shit. I don't think I should have that level of authority. I don't know if I can handle that much responsibility. I forgot I was supposed to talk to you all. So, today's episode is going to be all about monsters. You say monsters? Yeah, monsters. What about monsters? Well, favorite kinds of monsters. What we like about monsters. Are monsters good? Should monsters exist? It's really a very philosophical podcast. My co-host left the door open, and some people just walked by. I'm sure they heard me talking to myself. Or to you, gentle viewer. And now I seem like a don't you finish that off! No! 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 Give it here! Victoria just janked my Diet Pepsi and threatened to drink the rest of
It
it.
tastes like awful.
Then why were you drinking it?
Because I need the carbonation.
Get out of
I
here.
need my fix spell. As you open your throat and down the rest of it.
There was nothing left.
I'm a parasite upon you.
You are. So I was just telling our gentle viewers that we'd be talking about monsters today.
Ooh.
Is this a family appropriate topic?
Well, if we don't get too bang-a-rangin' about it, but we could put a PSA for viewer discretion if it does get too bang-a-rangin'.
This episode might get bang-rangin'.
So if it does get bang-a-rangin', we can make a clean episode and this episode.
If it gets bang-a-rangin', we'll let you know in the description so that all you children and folks that don't want to hear about sex don't have to.
Because I feel awful about having to subject any of you to these uncalled for weird pornographic puns. That was a good one.
Alliteration?
Yeah. Also, Photoshop is not Photoshop's waking.
Also, I just looked at the time code and it was about 4:20, like a couple seconds ago, and I thought that was important to mention.
All the sandwiches some of the sandwiches that look. There is a sandwich for sale at the local food area on our campus, and I believe it was intentionally priced to be $4.19 just to not promote drug use.
I don't know if they're that wise about it. Nothing ends like evenly.
$4.19 though. That's just too suspicious. I don't trust it.
You know? What if, like, you, like, just dropped a penny when you bought it, just so you could have that 420?
I mean, I could do that. Fuck. Adobe Bridge needs to leave.
Would that be considered foolishness or dedication?
That would be considered foolishness. Because the hubris of man would show through in your skin. And you would be suffering. And you would have done a bad.
The hubris of man would show through in my skin?
Mm-hmm. The hubris of man is actually a physical deformity.
Really? What does it look like?
Big raised mountains and shed intestinal linings alongside fecal matter.
So you're talking about, like, a really bad period.
I'm talking about cholera. It's a problem that we need to talk about, I think.
I don't think we need to talk about cholera on this podcast.
Yes, we do. We all have cholera. Just admit it.
I don't think I have cholera. I think I would know.
Do you want it?
No, I don't. Thank you for asking, though. Can you get away from me now?
No.
Please?
No.
I'm going to call the security guards if you don't get the fuck out of my sight right
What, are
now.
you gonna quarantine me, bitch?
Yes.
Fuck you.
I can't. You have cholera. And I'm a committed woman.
Cholera is illegal.
Is it illegal to have cholera?
Yes, if you have cholera, you have to go to jail.
We aren't even talking about monsters.
Okay. NSFW warning potentially, depending on how this gets.
We'll let y'all kitties know. So what's your favorite kind of monster?
Gorgons. I'm glad you asked, Bill, because Gorgons are my favorite monster.
Why are Gorgons your favorite monster?
Because historically, they're very interesting as, okay, going back to the ancient Greeks, we all know that they were shitty and misogynistic. However...
Also, why do you pronounce them like that?
Gorgons?
Gorgons.
I don't know. It's how I've always done it.
Because it's Gorgons.
Is it?
Yeah, you don't say Washington.
I'm sorry. It's how I've always pronounced it.
I think you should be sorry.
Shut the fuck up. Okay, anyway.
That's like when people pronounced Oregon.
Which you always get mad at me about.
I get very upset.
I'm aware of this. I'm aware of this issue, Bill.
Then why do you do it?
Because I don't want to have to compromise my unique way of saying things.
It's not unique. All of you Wisconsin fuckers pronounced Oregon like Oregon. It's Oregon.
Fine. You're complaining.
This
Fine.
is important to me.
Alright, fine.
This is the only thing I care about other than punching Nazis.
And the Binding of Isaac.
I don't even care about this. I do it to pass the time and fill my sad life.
So why do I like Gorgons?
Yeah.
I like Gorgons because, like, I don't know. First of all, generally speaking, when you have, like, monsters that are women, they're always based on their attractiveness and their beauty. Like, for example...
Aren't Gorgons that?
What? They are.
Yeah.
Listen to what I'm going to say. I need to formulate these thoughts with no interruptions. Okay. Historically, creatures that are women monsters, they tend to be based solely on physicality and beauty. As, for example, Gorgons are usually either really beautiful or really hideous, and that their ugliness can turn people to stone, and that they're terrifying. Similar thing with Harpies. Harpies are generally really ugly old women. Sirens are generally younger, bird-shaped women, or fish women. Interesting sidebar, I've noticed that when sirens are described, they're either described as birds or fish.
Really?
Yes, there's actually a very long, like, most sirens that I've seen have been described with bird-like features.
I have never heard that.
It is. There was this one book I had as a child that depicted them as a woman's head on just a bird's body, which is very sensual, I
That's
think.
bizarre.
And as well, I've also seen that to be depicted as, like, harpies where they have partial wings, but they're not ugly, so that means that they're going to essentially lure men to their deaths by singing to them.
The most common depiction of harpies I've seen is from a video game. And this is a Japanese video game, so you know where this is going. And they're just bird ladies, and their arms are like wings, right? But then they've got like sort of a human torso.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
And they've got very pretty faces, and they got like chicken legs.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got titties, but the titties are covered in feathers because you can't show that in like a T-rated game.
Yeah, what game was this?
The Atelier series.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fairly common depiction of sirens. Sirens can also loosely be referred to as, like, mermaids or sea women because they tend to be near the sea. So you'll get, like, oh, look at this siren, she's kind of like a fish, you know? That sort of thing.
Really?
Yeah, that's not uncommon. I've seen sirens where they're just, like, regular human women except extremely beautiful and singing people to their death.
I want to sing people to their death.
Anyways, we're not talking about Gorgons anymore. We need to talk about them. Because they're good. Anyways, I like snakes. I think they're cool. I think that my obsession with dragons when I was younger probably made it so like Gorgons are like really cool to me. Because their hair is prehensile. Their hair is snakes. They have snake hair, guys. And sometimes, depending on which sort of Gorgon you have, they'll have a snake body. But traditionally, like in the story of Medusa, she just had snake hair. No snaky tail. Which I think is interesting. And I don't know, I just like Gorgons because, one, they're cool looking. Two, they can be depicted in so many different ways, like as very terrifying. And I prefer it when they're depicted as less humanoid, as extremely unhumanoid.
Really?
Well, like, yeah, I mean, it gets boring seeing pretty ladies with simple feathers on their boobies.
That's fair.
Like, it's interesting to see character designs where it's like, this is a ferocious monster who also happens to be a woman, and her hair snakes are ready to have some terrible times. And also, I just think they're cool. They're generally, Medusa is depicted as the most beautiful woman in the world. So combined with terrifying snake hairs, it's kind of an interesting compilation.
You say that very refinedly, but don't you really just think that it's hot?
That's true. I do think Gorgons are very physically attractive.
So what about other, like, snake lady monsters?
Like Laminas or Nagas? Glad you asked, Belle. While I am usually disappointed that traditionally Laminas lack the snake hairs, I'm also...
There's no N there.
There isn't?
There's no N there.
Is it Lamia?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, fuck. Well, anyway, Lamias are, like, my favorite. Except they don't have snake hair, so they're like my less favorite, but...
They're like your less, like the lesser of the two goods.
Yes, however, they still have an interesting... They're like mermaids, but on land. In the sense of, like, their torsos are a different part of their body.
Okay.
And I think it's interesting, because I wonder if Laminas are, like... Are they...
There's no N in there.
I'm sorry, stop yelling at me.
I'm not yelling at you.
This is just like being back home with my friend, who would always correct me on how I say words wrong. Just like Bart. Bart was my only friend as a child. I watched The Simpsons religiously. I've never actually seen an episode of The Simpsons except once.
I was gonna say, you don't seem like the type.
Anyways, we're not talking about The Simpsons today.
Why not?
Because fuck The Simpsons. Also...
You know, there's porn of that.
Stop. I want to die.
Have you ever seen it?
No, and I don't want to.
You've never seen Simpsons porn?
I want to talk about Nagas and Laminas.
I mean, I do too, but I think...
No, fuck you.
We need to take a sidebar.
Fuck
I think
you.
that counts as, like, enough of a monster.
What? Porn of The Simpsons?
Yeah.
No.
That's, like, a monster in and of itself, isn't it?
Can we please talk about Snake? What are your opinions on Gorgons?
I think they're pretty dope.
Are they... What is it that you like? What is it you dislike?
There's nothing that I dislike about them. I do think that Medusa's origin story is pretty bullshit, but...
That's true. I also agree with the statement.
Other than that, you know, they're like a solid B+, A- on my monster list.
I think they're my top monster.
They're like pretty high up there. I don't know if they're my top monster, but they're like They're like up there.
I know personally. I wonder if Lamias are like. Are they like a regional thing? Like you'll have Gorgons, which are generally seem to be a Greek-specific mythological creature. From what I've seen, which may just be some weird pseudo-racist characters online, thanks to the internet, are they like generally a monster in like Indian mythology and culture? Or
I
what?
do believe so. I think that's what differentiates lamias and nagas is the regionalism and like the mythos / religion that they come from.
So what are Nagas then, as opposed to that? Are they Japanese based?
I got no fucking clue.
Let's look this up.
I'm counting on you.
You good? What do you think of Nagas and Lamias?
I think I prefer them over Gorgons.
Why?
Because traditionally Gorgons are not shown with the snake bodies.
I mean, I guess, but I like it when they have both because I think
mean,
it's cool.
If they had both, that'd be real cool. That'd be the best.
That's how I draw them. The Naga. Oh no, this is about an ethnic group.
Oh.
So Naga is not just a Naga. I wonder if. Interesting. Interesting.
It's Sanskrit for serpent.
Yeah. In Indian mythology, a member of the semi-divine race, part human, part cobra in form, associated with water and sometimes mythical intonation. So Naga is Indian. What is Lamia? Lamia is Greek, denoting a carnivorous fist or mythical monster with the body of a woman or with the head and breasts of a woman and the body of a snake, said to prey on human beings and suck the blood of children. Oh, baby, what?
So it's like the counterpart of the Gorgons.
So it's like... So, like, Lamia and Gorgon are both Greek, but they're, like, just reverse parts. Like, snake part on top, nothing on bottom, and then snake part on bottom, human on top.
Except Gorgons are, like, more human in appearance.
Generally, yes.
I think this is interesting. I learned something.
Yes. I didn't know Naga was... I thought Lamia was of Indian origin, but I was incorrect with this statement.
I'm glad I've gotten you to stop putting an N in there.
Why? Is it bad?
I was really grinding my gears.
Was it legitimately?
A little.
I'm sorry. I mispronounce words and I see them wrong a lot.
I mean, I guess it's okay.
Jesus Christ.
My goal in life is to give you a bad time.
Well, you're doing it right now, so congratulations.
Thank you.
Ooh, baby. What is this?
That's not a lamia.
So anyways, yes. So that's my favorite. I'm trying to think about other things I could say about them, but for now we'll talk about a different monster. Belle, what's your favorite monster?
I really like spiders.
Is this your favorite?
That's a human child.
With, like, bad pigtails and a sad expression. So yes.
I really like spider girls and boys.
That's fair. Describe why you enjoy them.
I really like spiders.
You think they're cute?
I do. Also, the fact that they can kill you in a lot of different ways.
That really allures you?
Yeah. I'm not going to get into why I enjoy them in other means other than just like pleasantly enjoying them.
Okay, so you want to keep this PG?
For now, at least. I mean, if it goes that way, it does. I'm not gonna,
Do you enjoy the classical descriptions of monster snake? Like, no, not snake, spider girls? Or do you think are lacking something?
What are the classical descriptions?
Well, generally it seems that it's fairly popular to have, like, an arachnid body with, like, a centaur version where it's, like, human on the top. Do you prefer those?
I do like those. I think that they could go for a little bit more spiderish on top.
Like, with, like, the split mouths and stuff?
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
I really think that they need fangs.
I think split mouths are really fun to draw, personally.
And here's another beef I have. Now, some spiders are smooth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty dope.
Some are hairy.
Right. But do you ever see, like, on Spider Girls, do you ever see it where, like, people will give them, like, a tarantula body, but then they just make it, like, smooth up top?
They do not like hair on their women, which is one, depressing, two, missing a really important like character design and potential variance design, three, why would a Spider-Girl need to shave? I mean, listen. Let's think about this rationally, humans. Spider-Girls don't need to shave. You know why?
Because they can just
They can
do
kill
whatever
you.
the fuck they want.
They can kill you.
Yeah, if someone's like, hey, you should shave your body hair, you just fucking eat them.
Besides, it's probably difficult to shave. Well, no, maybe it's not difficult to shave if... Because their torso's not, like... They could probably reach down to do it. But, like, in general... Come on, artists. Get on the fucking ball game.
Exactly. I want more hairy tarantula girls. And I'm not talking just, like, making the torso look better. I'm talking, like, give them, like, body hair. And, like, make them pointy and not smooth.
Make them look terrifying, but also really cool and attractive.
Yeah.
You can have... It can be attractive to look terrifying.
Exactly. I want...
I wonder where Spider-Girls originated.
I think that's more of just, like, a thing of the internet. But I could be wrong.
But there's gotta be some mythos behind it, because that's generally how shit happens.
That's true.
Who is Spider-Girl? Not the origin story of Spider-Girl. That's not what we're looking for today.
Just like Spider Monster.
Cultural, mythological spiders. In Greco-Roman... Oh, this one's a good one I know about. Greco-Roman mythology, Arachne is a talented mortal weaver who challenged Athena, the goddess of wisdom and crafts, into a weaving contest. Her hubris resulted in her being transformed into a spider. There are many versions of the story's weaving contest, with each saying that one or the other won. So, I've heard about this story, and as we know, Athena is terrible, but in general, it is a classical thing to be turned into a spider. Oh, there are multiple versions of the story. Let's listen to our boy Ovid. Val knows about Ovid, right?
I fucking hate Ovid.
Well, Ovid is... Okay. I'm just gonna read this Wikipedia article.
Let's make Medusa get, raped by Poseidon, and then Athena's just gonna blame her for it.
That's my favorite story description that Ovid's ever done. He's terrible. But in this version, Arachne was a shepherd's daughter who began weaving early. She became a great weaver and boasted that her skill was greater than that of Athena, and refused to acknowledge that her skill came, in part at least, from the goddess. Athena took offense and set up a contest between them. Presenting herself as an old lady, she approached the boasting girl and warned, "You can never compare with any of the gods. Plead for forgiveness and Athena might spare your soul." "Ha, I only speak the truth, and if Athena thinks otherwise, then let her come down and challenge me herself," Arachne replied. Athena removed her disguise and appeared in shimmering glory, clad in a sparkling white chiton. That sounds gay. The two began weaving straight away. Athena's weaving represented 4 separate contests between mortals and the gods, in which the gods punished mortals for settling themselves as equal to the gods. Arachne's weaving depicted ways that the gods had misled and abused mortals, particularly Zeus, tricking and seducing many women. When Athena saw that Arachne had not only insulted the gods, but done so with a work far more beautiful than Athena's own, she was enraged. She ripped Arachne's work into shreds and hit her on the head 3 times. Wow.
So basically, Arachne actually was better than Athena?
Let's
and
finish
she got
this.
pissed?
Enraged, Arachne... Oh, hold on. She ripped Arachne's work into shreds and hit her on the head 3 times. Enraged, Arachne hung herself, and then Athena said, "Live on then, and yet hang, condemned one. But lest you are careless in the future, the same condition is declared in punishment against your descendants to the last generation." After saying this, she sprinkled her with the juice of Hecate's herb. What the fuck?
Hecate?
Yeah. Dank weed. And immediately at the touch of this dark poison, Arachne's hair fell out. With it went her nose and ears, her head shrank to the small size, and her whole body became tiny. Her slender fingers stuck to her sides as leg, the rest is belly, from which she still spins a thread, and as the spider weaves her ancient web. This shows how the goddesses punish those who are mortal. Interesting thing is that she was basically making the anti-political cloth for the gods, like, hey, Zeus kind of fucked a lot of women and fucked them over, and how the gods had fucked over humans, and Arachne's and Athena's like, no, fuck you.
So basically, the gods are just little baby back bitches that can't handle the fact that they're shitty and people can be better than them.
And the fact that they're terrible to mortals.
Yeah.
Basically, the Greek gods were shit, and I hope they feel bad. But yes, spider girls are a mythical thing. They were based upon that. They're not just some pornographic internet thing.
Well, Arachne is just actually a spider, though.
Actually, a spider, but she still retains some humanoid features in some of these. It seems.
Seems like it's like a spider, but with a human mind.
It's a spider, but like in that grisly description, they basically shrunk her body parts down to mimic that of a spider, so she could keep weaving.
Jesus Christ.
I hope Athena's bad. Oh, there's another version where Arachne basically
Why do people worship Athena?
Another one was where Arachne felt so guilty that she hung herself, and out of pity, Athena brought Arachne back to life as a spider, so she and her descendants could weave all their lives.
Wait, why did she feel guilty?
Athena wove a tapestry of the people of Greece with Poseidon and Athena over them, deciding whose name should be given the city of Athens. Arachne wove a tapestry about Zeus and the seduction of Europa and others. Athena saw that, although Arachne had insulted the gods, her work was so beautiful that Athena was awed. She realized that Arachne couldn't live without weaving. To make Arachne realize her mistake and also teach her to respect the gods and their work, she touched Arachne's forehead with the tip of her hand. The magic worked only partially, filling Arachne with guilt for her insolence, and she hung herself.
Jesus Christ.
So this isn't as bad. Like, Athena's like, I hate how you insult the gods, but you're really good at this, so I'm not gonna, like, straight up kill you and torture you, but, like...
But, like, the gods kind of had it coming.
Yeah. But then, like, Arachne was like, I feel like shit, and then hung herself, and then Athena's like, whoop, I fucked up. Time to give you life again. Who the hell is the spider grandmother? Ooh. An important creation figure in the mythology, oral traditions, and folklore of many Native American cultures.
Ooh. Sounds neat.
I want my grandmother to be a spider.
I wish I were a spider.
You could be the spider grandma.
Why can't you be like monsters in like RPG games?
Because RPG games are pussy and weak.
Why can't like I play an MMORPG where I'm just like basically a mob, but I get stronger?
Jorogumo is a type of yokai, a creature, ghost, or goblin of Japanese folklore. According to some stories, a Jorogumo is a spider that can change its appearance into that of a seductive woman. Getting warmer.
Getting closer.
So should we talk about other monsters?
What other monsters do you want to talk about?
I like mermaids, but not those pussy-ass descriptions of mermaids. I want some real Spiderwick Chronicles mermaids. Also, I don't know if that's illegal to say. Is it illegal to say that patented word?
I don't think it is. But it's like the internet. You can get fucked over real easily.
I hate the internet.
I do too. Why do I spend so much time on it? All I wanna do is see you turn into giant woman.
What is your ideal mermaid?
Cold, pale, semi-dead, blue-tinted skin, seaweed hair, very sharp teeth, kills idiots.
I like when,
but sometimes shows benevolence to people.
I like it when mermaids are described as having more fish features, like, on their face, and then their, like, torso as well.
I would like her body to be covered in more scales than the usual.
Yeah, because, like, I think that's very interesting. Like, the mermaids in Harry Potter were pretty radical.
I'm all for violent mermaids, not that pussy-ass
So, like this?
Disney bullshit.
Do you enjoy this?
Yeah.
This is fucking cool looking. Look at them.
What are those from?
Harry Potter.
Really?
Mm-hmm. The Mer People of the Lake.
I didn't watch the movies that much.
I like the design a lot.
I think that the movies are pretty bad.
I enjoyed the movies, but I never read the books. Look.
That's pretty dope.
They definitely don't look like these.
You know what else I like?
What?
Frog people.
Frog people are cool. I wonder if there's a historical thing for frog people.
I don't think so. I think that's just like an anime thing.
But there was one. Hold on.
I am holding on.
No. Interesting. The Nek, Nikor, Nixie, or Noken are shape-shifting water spirits in Germanic mythology and folklore, usually appeared in forms of other creatures.
Nice.
I know that in the that patented words anthology that we said earlier, that they were depicted as being frog-like.
Nice. I love frogs.
So Nixies are like water sprites. Do you want to talk about? I want to talk about a really cool monster that's not like humanoid in any form, but the Kelpie.
Oh, the horse?
Yeah, the murder horse.
Murder horses are pretty good.
The Scots give the name to a shape-shifting water spirit inhabiting the Echoes and Poles of Scotland. It has usually been described as appearing as a horse, but it is able to adopt a human form. Sometimes accounts state that the Kelpie retains its hooves when appearing as human, leading it to the association with the Christian idea of Satan, as alluded to by Robert Burns in his poem in 1786, Address to Deal. Generally, they tend to just kill people. Basically, you really want to ride that horse and it rides you into your death. Like, you get on this majestic pony and then you realize you can't get off because it's riding you into a lake.
At least you got to ride a pretty dope horse.
Before you were drowned to death.
Yeah.
Look at this good painting.
Nice.
So, yeah. Interesting. It's interesting that this also has a human form.
It seems like all monsters have human forms.
It seems
almost,
like humans are really horny for monsters that look like humans.
that are also hot, but then like the church was like, "Hey, can't do that. All these monsters kill you."
I have a really
Even though it wasn't the church, it
That's
was just
true.
folklore.
I have a
What?
really important question for you.
Yeah.
What do you think of snurpants?
Oh, the. What the?
Doesn't
Why do you put the M in there?
Because that's how I pronounce it.
Victoria was searching for succubus, and they typed it succumbus.
That's how I pronounce it.
Why?
Because I always forget there's no M bell. I told you I misread words and then pronounce them incorrectly.
It's like a type of cloud.
Yeah, that's true.
Succumbus.
But what do you think about snurpants?
I think they're pretty dope. Do you want to tell the viewers about the snurpant you're talking about?
Why, yes, I would. What makes you think that?
I just had a feeling.
I drew a snurpant the other day, and I colored it with watercolor, and I showed it to a famous individual.
You know that sea snakes exist, right?
Yeah, they're cool. I know, actually, a friend of ours reiterates to me that, those two words mean the same thing, right? And it's like, they're kind of a little different, but okay.
Who told you that a snake and a serpent were the same thing?
Should we say the name on the podcast? That would be rude.
No, just tell me later.
Okay, I'll tell you later. Hold on, children of the deep. Can I pause this? If I hit stop, will it just stop?
And you can restart, I think.
Ugh.